Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Awake and Activate. Let me know if my sound's coming through okay. And oh boy, I got some really profound information to share with you guys that hopefully, let me get everything situated here. You find it inspirational and it restores a little hope and keeps us always pressing forward because you know honestly, most of you know my story. I kind of just stumbled into this, kind of just started happening. I didn't read books on it. I don't study. I don't sit there and will it to happen or anything like that, but it's getting to a point where I can focus and off I go. And then I get this, I'm able to take back with me uh, such a treasure of information. And then I'm able to, I discuss it with my other half, my twin, my husband. And it's like when we discuss it, we unravel it and we decode or see the meanings behind what it is that I observed, participated in, or observed and participated in, where I went to, what was going on. And we get a gnosis, a consciousness expansion from each that we unravel. And we are still unraveling more profound information from things that have been seen way back years ago, because what will happen is something will come up and spring that adventure right back to the front of the memory of, like, it just happened. So it's like an affirmation. Wait, remember when I had this similar thing happen? And this has to do with the new technology, that I experienced. And we're going to start with that. And then I'm going to get into this other journey that I went into. It's just, you guys, if when we come to the full understanding of how amazing we each are, limitless. I mean, talk about seeing into the unseeing. The unseen realm surrounds us. We're seeing into the unseen realm and we're getting a clearer and clearer view of it. So let me get where I can see the chat so I can say hello. Oh my goodness, Longreach, I haven't seen you in forever, girl. How are you? Hobbs, how are you? Red Pill Paul, Michael Fontaine. What? Preliminal. By the way, I did the stream right after I told you guys that about the ad revenue issue. I did go ahead and make a video on it. A couple reasons. Number one, I've got it for my records in my my saved file. Number two, you guys can look at it yourself. And I'm not saying not to go for being monetized. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is I don't know what's going on with their new updates and with this new algorithm and all of that, when my channel was going this direction with views, but then went in the red on ad revenue. I'm just like, what? What the heck is that about? So until they get all that straightened out, I mean, I can't afford it. I can't afford to be paying YouTube and the software and the equipment and everything else. And I've told my husband already, stop buying stuff, because he saw the views go up substantially and then started just buying me all kinds of equipment to film the animals and just a new microphone. Just, he's very supportive of this journey and very supportive of this endeavor. But by now, I was hoping to be in a position of helping others, because this channel was never meant to be an income, but like to balance out and to help the community. That's what the goal is. So anyways, I told him, hit the brake, stop spending money. Now let's get to the good stuff. So hello, you guys. So that was the second half that played. I think I ran it this morning of the live stream. It ended up being a power stream. So I broke it in half for you guys, took out the content that they were trying to do third-party ad revenue on, and then ran it for you guys, and there won't be ads on it. It's going to be few and far between where you're going to see that you'll see any kind of advertisements. Some of them will still have them, just not very often. So I'm not going to announce I'm not having ads and then have it throw freaking ads on it. Now, I know that there's people, let me finish this YouTube stuff as people file in saying, finally, she's live. She said she was going live at 11. It's, quarter after 12. She's always late. Anyways, apparently some people are being told that, or also having ads run on their channels, and they don't have any say-so over it. Well, if you are in the YPP, which is the YouTube Partnership Program, you own the content. See, I own my content. It's a partnership program. I own what I put out. This is my intellectual property. So it's a partnership. YouTube has the right to take their percentage and of what, it comes in. But when it gets to the point where I'm running in the red, the views are there and they're saying that, the ad, they're paying the advertisers back. Well, I'll just, back off of that because I can't go backwards. But you do want to be going towards the YouTube Partnership Program, which is, I think it's what, 1,000, is it 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours still per year? I'm thinking it is. It's once you get the 1,000 subscribers, the 4,000 watch hours is nothing. You'll get that like really, really quick. If you watched that short video that I did on my graphs and stuff, you could see the view hours that I didn't even bring those up. It was the, and even with 2-minute videos and 3-minute videos with like the little animal, funny humor, let's lighten up a little bit, guys. The hours were there. I mean, within a month, you can get 4,000 watch hours. It's really not that difficult once you get the subscriber minimum. And then they go through their process, and then you become a UPP. And then you'll have a little more say-so over your platform. Now, you still, if you want to run ads, you got to stay within their guidelines of being ad-friendly to get certain ads to run on there. Okay. But then you also have the option to opt out and not have ads run. You have a little more say-so. So, continue to go towards that kind of a goal. Okay. The technology. This technology has been brought to my attention more than one occasion. So I don't know. And like I said, I make the videos because I have reference of when. I've got record of it, and I have it saved, on my in my files of when it happened. And so usually, I'll unravel what it is that I've seen. And I don't know if you guys remember. Maybe there's probably a lot of you that do. When I had that, this was about 4.5 years ago, where I had the experience where I walked around. It was like an acre of like a wheat crop on a dirt path with about, I wanted to say there were 6 or 7 others with me. When I looked into the sky, I saw the 3 suns. 2 of them were orange and 1 of them was white. And we were talking and walking. And then when we got to the end, I focused in on these little, they were like little pellet looking things. I mean, there was tons of them. I mean, uncountable amount. Just think of like a big sack of rice and trying to count each grain of rice. Was this stack of these kind of equipment. And I was led to believe in my inner thoughts that it was free energy and that it was coming to Earth, the one that I am from. And I'm like, am I not on Earth? I mean, where am I? Well, I'm looking at 7 planets that looked Earth-like. Now, let me explain this They were like the outline, they were beautiful, like a crystalline blue. And you could see the outline of where land would be, but it was translucent. They weren't oscillating. And the three suns in the sky, I saw, like I said, two of them were orange and one of them was bright, blinding white. And I was there for hours and hours. Concept of time over there is very different than here. Here, I had told my husband, I said, oh, I feel really dizzy and lightheaded. I need to go lay down. I went in, I laid down, hit the pillow. And since I got hit by the drunk driver, and most of you know, I have my neck, my T-spine, and my lumbar severely injured. My neck was broken. I had surgery on it. T-spine, I've got those problems. And then I've got some crushed discs in my lumbar. Okay. I have a difficult time usually falling asleep. It takes me a while to get comfortable. Well, when I went in, head hit the pillow, boom, I was gone. And that's what I experienced. I thought that, I was gone for hours and hours and hours and hours because that's what it felt like. And then when I got to the end, I noticed there was something on my face and I was trying to take it off. And then there was that vehicle I described to you guys. And there was this man standing there and he says, don't take those off until you get inside the vehicle. And I'm like, okay. And then I noticed he had them on and so did everybody else. But I didn't really, it wasn't like a focus point until I noticed them. But for some reason, we notice things because there's a reason behind it. It was kind of to make sure that I knew I was someplace else. Well, that was brought up, back with this energy harness like thing. It does not feel like my Merkaba. I know what my Merkaba feels like. I know what it sounds like. And I know that travel. And that's the second one that we're going to talk about here in just a minute on that journey, oh my gosh. So profound, you guys. If you only knew what you're doing and you're just not conscious of it, oh my gosh, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Anyways, let's go back to the time where Columbus is sailing across the seas and you're a Native American and you've never seen a ship before. You've never seen a vessel of any such form make landfall. You don't perceive it because you don't know what it looks like. Now, once, Columbus and his crew landed and they went on the land and then they met, then they could take them and then they could perceive it because somebody helped them to be able to see what used to be or was not in their consciousness. So it was not seeable. It wasn't recognizable because it wasn't in their conscious awareness. They didn't comprehend what it was that they were looking at. Okay. As our consciousness is expanding and evolving, we're allowing for more possibilities and probabilities to come into being. Remember, even in the basic instructions before leaving Earth, and I really honestly think that if you do read the Bible, it really is because you will launch into the astral realm. You'll see the kingdom while you are still walking this earth. It's very possible. It says in there that, they wanted a king. And since they wanted a king, they got one. People will get the ruler in which they want or deserve. Right? So somewhere on the quantum level, we are all partaking with the broadening of our perception of our consciousness that these type of inventions or I like the way that gentleman the other day, Spirit, talked about things bleeding into this realm of perception from other realms that would used to only see in the astral realm that are now bleeding into ours because of the conscious expansion is going on. And as it's expanding, we're allowing other things to transpire and be benevolent because not only do we expand our consciousness and then it comes into being, but we also put the energy behind it. So if we're wanting benevolent people, because they were people, like I said, that have such advanced technology to be sharing it with everyday mankind. Uh, Consciously expanding to that is making it happen. So it makes it to be true, whether it's bleeding in, like I said, from another realm, from the unseen realm coming into the seen realm of anything that's possible and probable is in the unseen realm. That realm is of plenty. There's everything you could possibly think of, want, need, whenever you're asking for things, praying, meditating, anything, you're asking for something to come into being from the unseen realm and manifest into your paradigm for you to experience. So with this technology, we are stretching as mankind, and it is coming into being and being utilized. It's being utilized. I should have made sure all my notifications and stuff are off. It's being utilized for the benefit of mankind. So if an experience where you're feeling some kind of an energy harness type thing is coming about for you, remember, they had to have my permission. It was completely different than anything I'd experienced in that. And it had to have a completely different feel or I wouldn't understand it. And that would be the third time that I've had an experience like that. The first time was when I was on that one vessel and I saw that lady whom, when I heard her voice, I was able to describe her to a T to her friend, and she wouldn't come on camera. She never came on camera before. And I described what she looked like to a T because I seen her in that place. And that had a different feel to it. But then when my Merkaba is going and I'm going out of my body and onto into a realm, into the unseen realm, the realm of plenty, to see, learn, glean, grow, and to do the work, the dream work that we all do. You can feel that. I feel it from my solar plexus. I can feel it to start oscillating. The two triangles that overlap begin to spin, and that power within can cause, people to feel sleep paralysis, that buzzing in your ears because you can hear it. And then when you start to understand it, you're like, okay, so it's almost like I had to hear it in order to give consent to keep moving in that modality. And once I understood it, the fear was gone, and boom, and I'm able to bring it back. I'm able to go, glean, observe, perceive, experience, and bring back such profound information that it can't, when my husband and I talk about this stuff, we're like, oh my God, where did that come from? Like, I don't know. It has to be coming from the one, from the whole consciousness, because it's not something, like I said, that I've studied. So it's coming from some place that's way above my understanding into this little tiny vessel here. And if this little tiny nobody can do these things, so look at everybody else. So, any questions on the new technology? Like so, I was on if you missed it before, I was taken through this harness thing. I was hearing a voice that sounded like it was going through a radio in my mind, and it was a male voice. And we were conversating back and forth because I was having some health issues and I was uncomfortable. The harness was uncomfortable. And then I moved my arm. It made it so it was tolerable. I gave consent, and I was on what felt like to me was like a healing bed. When I'm in the astral realm, I don't have to open my eyes. I can already see. It's not like I have to physically open my eyes. And I had my eyes closed, and he told me I could open my eyes. He also tapped me on my forehead, on my nose, and on my chin. I had full sense of touch. So I could feel them, smell them, see them, and I couldn't see them until I opened my eyes. And then that's when I looked beyond them and looked out the window and saw that we were above the clouds zipping across. Just amazing stuff. Just absolutely amazing stuff. But that was what was brought to our attention was, well, remember when Columbus sailed across, they didn't understand what a ship was. So they didn't know how to comprehend something they'd never seen before. And then when they docked and talked to them, then they were able to understand what this was and were able to then see it. Um, it's just amazing how we're able to speak, think, imagine. The power that we hold within is astounding, absolutely astounding. Hi, not sure. How are you? I went into the unseen realm, and I saw was a human being. It looked like right out of a movie. How did it get there? I took a powerful substance and somehow I unlocked it. And you know, there are people that will go with it on a shamanistic journey, use DMT, ayahuasca, things of that nature. I do not relegate, judge, or have any thoughts or opinions on how it is that you observe, how you go in your journeys, how you perceive what you see, what you get, Doesn't matter to me. It does not matter one bit, because from how I see it, how I understand it, in which, as you guys know, I was brought up Christian. It's not what goes into the mouth or into the body that defiles the man. It's what comes out. What do we say about each other? How do we treat each other? It's coming out of us, so I don't focus on that. I focus more on, what did you get from it? What was the growth? What was the expansion? Was your conscious expanded to? What were you able to see? How wonderful, is that? Okay, now let me talk to you guys about this. And I'm going to remind you guys again, it's not every time my head hits the pill, I do not go on a journey. It's not how it works for me, but it does seem, because when I was taken with that energy harness and I could hear that man's voice, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, voice to skull, are you using some kind of, targeted, and then I'm like, but wait, I don't have that technology, and he could hear everything that I was thinking, and we were having a conversation. So yeah, so there's always some disqualifier to sure us back up and to validate what it is that we experienced. But on that one, I was completely focused and wanting to see my daughter, because I haven't seen her in a while. So, I wanted to see her. So when I went to bed and had that experience with that harness and was taken up on that ship-like thing, I have to say it's ship-like because I didn't see it from the outside. All I saw was from my perspective, from where I was laying, to them being in the uniforms, to the holographic room where I was able to see other people, and then out the window. And I saw, like I said, the curve on the side, because the window was odd shaped, but it was because of the shape of the wall. It was not up and down. It was kind of curved over, which gave the window kind of a strange shape to it, so that it is what it is. And when I came back, the problems I was having subsided. They went away within days. So, I always look at, what is the outcome? What is the gain? How do you know if it's authentic? If it's a real experience versus imagination? Is it something I watched on television? Is it something I read in a book? Is this coming from somebody else's experience that I've taken upon to myself and brought it into my spectrum and made it into a dream? Was it just a pizza dream, or was it an authentic experience? So that was what that live stream was about. Hey, Tom. So, and hi, Bit of Venom. All right. Again, I was laying down, and again, I was focusing on my daughter. And this time it wasn't that I was focusing to see my daughter. I was just saying that, I treasure the time that I had with you. I love you. You can feel my heart. I know you're still in my heart. It's unconditional love, and I will love you unconditionally through eternity. I went to sleep, and when I went to sleep, I went into a very strange realm. And I think a lot of times people may mistake this for thinking they're having a bad dream or something of that nature, when really you're going into a realm, and I'm not talking gray aliens and pitchforks and fire and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about some of the things that I seen in this realm was like people that weren't self-aware, that didn't quite comprehend during life who they are. And I did see a friend, not the friend that was here in Bakersfield, but another friend that I met in Oklahoma who just recently passed. I did see her, and I did end up seeing my daughter. But let me get to that part here in just a minute. When I seen the one friend who had passed, I was like, "Where in the heck am I? Are all these people passed?" And then I was told, "No, actually, they're not." And then I went on this ride. This is really odd. I was protecting. There was some children there. And then when we got on this ride, it ended up being that the whole family ended up being like in the same row of seats on this ride. And the ride is like, has anybody been on like an amusement park, that boat that goes back and forth? Back and forth, and it kind of throws your tummy, throws your tummy. Okay, this one, instead of it just going like this, it was a circle that everybody sat in, so it would oscillate this way and go back and forth, back and forth. And I know that represents something. I think that the circle is that they're chasing their tail, going in circles and just going to and fro, and not being able to, break out of the paradigm of the five senses and realize there's a sixth sense being. So I'm on this ride, and I'm holding back these young children, and then I seen that the parents were sitting right next to them, and then I got a closer look at them, and what I saw, and this was really odd, was these little like black bugs, and they were on their head, on their forehead, and my thought was, okay, is this head lice? And then I'm looking closer at it, and it wasn't head lice. They were these little black bugs that were all over their head, and then it said, "Are these black bugs, like distraction, things to keep you distracted and keep you kind of clouded over from shining that rainbow colors of the vibrant colors that you are." From there, I got kicked out. I got kicked out of that realm. And what I wanted to say about that realm is many of us go into that realm. We may think we're having a bad dream, but actually what's going on is you're almost like a way shower and helping people that are stuck in those type of realms to come into their own. It's a way of not having ego. You can't say, "Oh, I went in there and I grabbed 50 people, and those 50 people all know who they are because of me." No, because there's no ego in this. How can there be an ego when everybody's equal, right? I mean, there is no ego. You didn't save anybody because it's always sovereign free choice. But I got kicked out of there. There was a lady with silver hair, and there was two men, and it was like the three were standing there, and they asked me what I was doing there. And I said, "I'm observing. I'm participating, and I'm observing." And they said, "No, you're doing more than that. You have to leave." And the friend that I knew from Oklahoma who had recently passed, she left with me. So, which kind of ticked him off. Then I stopped, and I was going to head back, and these, I don't know, I guess it would be like soldiers or whatever, started swinging these things that kind of looked like hockey sticks towards me, started trying to like clobber me and to detour me, to shoo me away. But I was standing there, and I looked at the female one. But remember, guys, there's no male female there. It's just how I perceived her, and with the silver hair. And I said, "What's this?" I said, "You can't touch me. You don't have the authority to touch me." And she had to tell me the truth. She's like, they can't hit you, they can't touch you. And because I started going into the 3D mind, I'm like, whoo, when I got hit by that car, I can only handle 4 pounds of pressure on one side. If I get hit there, it's over. So if these guys land a blow, you're breaking the law here. You're breaking the law of my sovereignty. And then I got the answer from her. They didn't make them stop though. They were still trying to shoo me off. But then I moved over to another realm. Now I'm sitting down by a swimming pool, a huge swimming pool, and my hair is lathered up with shampoo. This is so weird. My hair is lathered up with shampoo. And and my husband and I were talking about, I'm like, brainwashing, or was I washing all of those black things off of my head, out of my, could be looked at in either perspective. We're still, I'm working on unraveling that. But then I stood up and I dove into the water. Now I can't dive in my 3D, and I always have to plug my nose underwater, and my ears, I can't stand having water in my ears. But in this realm, I dove into this water really smooth, and I was over halfway across this. It was bigger than an Olympic sized pool. I was over halfway through, all of the shampoo, everything rinsed out of my hair as I was under the water. And then I popped up, and there was my daughter. There she was. And I was like, oh, wow. I said, what are you doing here? And then she said, well, I came here to say hi to you. Okay. And there's something that we had in our hands. She handed me something. It was 3 pieces. And she's like, Mommy, this won't go together, right? I can't get it to go together. So I'm messing with it. And what it seemed like is an eyeliner pencil, but it was thick like a crayon, but it was eyeliner. So I'm kind of attaching that towards an Egyptian type of some kind of artifact that is within Egyptian, maybe mythology, or something that's important and relevant. Anyways, with these 3 pieces, I'm trying to mess with it, and I couldn't. And I was like, I don't know why they won't stay together, because I would get them together and they'd just fall apart. And then finally, I just went stack, 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 and I put all 3 of them into the one, and I handed it back to her, and I said, I don't know why they won't stay the way that it's supposed to, but I'm sure it's okay. And then she took it from me and she said, yeah, I'm sure that it will be okay too. Okay, so then from there, these places that we go to are just phenomenal. But both of those paradigms could have been perceived as what I would consider, or what I used to be, if I wasn't able to remember, what was said, what everything that was going on, I would have been shook awake thinking I was having a bad dream. But actually, you're going into the unseen realm, and you're doing some work, and you never know who you're benefiting, or who's watching you, who's perceiving what's going on with you, what you're saying, what your thought process is, and who else is walking out of realms that they may think they may be stuck in, but you're, just from your thought process, breaking through some different paradigms where they then start stretching it out from that paradigm, and so on and so on. Oh, I missed a very important part. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me backpedal just for a minute. Before, I was at the amusement park with that spinny ride that went back and forth. Before that happened, I felt like I was dying, and I was scared. And I'm telling myself, I said, why am I scared? I've been through this before. There's no fear in it. I was able to see my body, and I rolled over, and then I went to this other realm. I said, so I know I'm not scared. Who am I? Who am I right now? And what I found out was, like, I know who I was, and I'm not gonna say, but when an incident occurs and something traumatic happens, shocking, sudden, and you're thrown out of your body and into your Merkaba instantaneously, into your light body, your spirit form, and you can't see where your body is, you think you're still there, because I was trying to speak with police and other people, and oh god, I should probably turn that off. And nobody could hear me. Nobody could hear me. So I called upon somebody that I knew cared about me unconditionally and pulled their heart. And when they showed up there, then I still had a short, like a very thin tether to my body, although I was deceased. I followed my body until I got like an affirmation of, oh, okay. Then I was able to see it, and I was able then to be released and move on. But yeah, that, and that could have been perceived as a nightmarish type thing, but I was being shown something. It was a matter of, how am I going to perceive the information that I'm getting? So we may think that we're having terrifying things go on, but in truth, you're able to handle, you're going in, you're doing work, you're expanding consciousness just by your presence. And then when you leave, you just move on. You just kind of bop around. And as our consciousness is expanding and evolving, then we're able to bring things in from the unseen into this paradigm and have it be a tangible experience that we have in the here and now. It's the great breaking through the glass ceiling. It's any kind of limitation that we have on ourselves. We should always try to expand beyond that. And then whatever the next limitation that we think that we have, expand beyond that. And when we're expanding, it's all inner work. It's not encroaching or imposing on another. It is, it's all choice. It's all done within, and we grow and expand, and at the same time with respect for each other's and everybody else's right to have their experiences. I mean, it's a profound understanding, and to go through all of what I went through. And I felt that the reward that I received from that was, I got to see my child. I got to see my daughter. I got to spend some time with her, and we went swimming. And there was a lot that was grown from that. I'm trying to. I should have wrote it down. I should have went live when I was supposed to, and then I went and be like forgetting, because there's something else that happened after this swimming pool. But see, after that part, of it, the conscious evolution of the realms of infinite, of the unseen realm and the infinite possibilities and probabilities, we just kind of bounce around in those and see what is unseen. We see things that are yet to come, and it's awesome. And there's no limitation on anybody. Everybody is able to do all of these things. Everybody. When we're ready for the expansion in our awareness, and we can handle it in our mind. And even, I sit there and question myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, it sounds so crazy from what I was like before. This is so out there. How do you present this to people where they can break out of a paradigm or a box that we're stuck in? Just got to go headlong in and just say, forget it, do the best we can and expand, because where we're heading is so awesome, because our consciousness is expanded to a point where that technology is becoming reality. It is a part of our reality. How, we put the intention into energy. With the energy, as your attention goes, energy flows. And with that energy, we send it out with that purpose. And when we're making conscious choices, not thinking we're a victim, but making a conscious choice about what it is that we would truly like to see here, and then it transpires. They call that prophesying. So you could see things and then have them manifest within your life. Was it yesterday? I'm trying to think, because my sleeping cycles are really bizarre too. It's like I'll sleep 24 hours straight. And then I'll be up for like 18 to 20 hours. And then I'll sleep, 20, 24 hours. So my days are like double days and my nights are like double nights. Like time has escaped me. I don't have a concept of time here like I used to. I don't sit there and watch the clock and things like that. So it's a very freeing and liberating way to be. I'm going to play something for you guys really quick, and then I'm going to be right back because I need to get something to drink. I'm not going to make this one too long because I want people to know let me turn this thing off and then put this one on. And where did it go? Where'd it go? I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Puddles, and Awake and Activate is now depending on you. It's a community-supported platform. We can do this several ways. When we're live, it could be done on YouTube with Super Chat and Super Stickers. There's also YouTube channel membership, and they get special posts just for them, things that only they can see. There's also Patreon, and on Patreon, you too get special posts that are just for you. There's also PayPal. PayPal and Patreon are usually the best bet because there's no waiting time or mandatory minimums to help the platforms that you appreciate the most. We appreciate all the help that you give. We love you so much. Be blessed in everything you do. Be grateful for everything you are. Remember, you're unlimited. The only limits we have are the ones we put on ourselves. So let's break through anything like that and move into the unlimited realm of infinite potential. Bye! Bye! I love you! Don't forget to support the content creators that you appreciate. Bye!
Hey, I'm back. Okay, so let me look at the comment section to see if anybody has any questions. So remember, when you're having dreams that may startle you or make you feel like you may be having a bad dream or something, you may be overdoing some work and planting seeds through your conscious awareness from the expansion that you've had to bring others that may be in a paradigm of such a nature of that realm that I visited without even knowing it. You're raising that awareness just by popping into that unseen realm. And if you look at the Bible as the basic instructions before leaving earth, that you can actually find it when you read through the parables, the truth's in there. And who is to say that we only leave when we are no longer in a physical body? We need to go back as it brought up Christian. Go back to what Christ taught, his teachings, and he even chastened Peter when they were walking, and he was telling each one, and he said that one will see the kingdom of heaven while he's still alive. He'll be alive when he sees the kingdom of heaven. How can that be, right? Unless you're supposed to access that unseen realm while you are in the here and now through the expansion of your awareness of knowing the power that you hold within, the abilities, your sovereignty, everything that is given to us through free will and choice, the dominion, and learning and doing the inner work to utilize everything to the best benefit of self and everybody around us. Because on a quantum level, we affect each other. But on a unique individual level, you have direct access to what is going on in your spectrum. And then, of course, if you're married or you have children, direct, you'll all affect each other's environment. So why would we want limitation? We want liberation. So when we think on things, let's try to go through that glass ceiling. Let's try to break through and go to the levels of awareness. Just stretch as far as you can go. And then when you feel like you're hitting a limit or a block, try and stretch just a little bit beyond that, and it'll break it. It'll break you out of anything that may have us stuck going in circles, back and forth, like that ride that I was shown. I want to tell you, when I was on that ride, this was interesting. Everybody that was on that ride that was going in circles and going back and forth, their stomachs were getting thrown, plus they were feeling the spin. I had no sensation of motion. I was steady. It couldn't move me. And I think that's part of the reason why I got kicked out, because I wasn't able to be through the bread and circuses, sidetracked off or worry about this or that. I was focused in on those children and to make sure that they were safe and that nothing was going to happen to them and we're going to fall off of this crazy kooky ride that, honestly, from a 3D perspective, did not look safe at all. And they were younger children. And then seeing those black bug things on their head, it's just that is not to be gross. That's just to say that there's something there that's interfering or distracting from the expansion, and we need to remove those distractions and do the inner work and then have the expansion. I mean, it's just a profound journey that I went on, that if I would have had 25 or 26 years ago, had a dream like that, I would have woke up thinking I had a nightmare. I wouldn't have remembered it all. I probably would have remembered them chasing me with those hockey puck things and trying to clobber me with them and chasing me with them. And I would have probably remembered the bugs and, you know what I mean? It's all in our awareness. And I was able to observe it from the spectrum of an observer. And I was able to zoom in and be a participant and actually be in that moment with them as they were going through this. But while able to toggle back and forth, I was immovable by that ride's swaying and oscillating. I wasn't moved by any of it. I stood steadfast. And that was something, like I said, I discuss these things and kind of unravel them with my husband. And the things we see is just like, it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. So hi, Nins Flower, Hobbs. And make sure I said hello to everybody. Dead GPK. You guys make sure you're subscribing to oh my God, Cooking with Mac. It's on my homepage. All kinds of meals that you can cook on a grill. If anybody's interested in off-grid living or cooking anything you can possibly think of on a grill, oh my gosh. They do some stuff in the kitchen too, but don't watch if you're hungry, because you're going to want everything. And the strawberry tamales threw me over the top. I was like, oh, I want those like right now. So you might want to check that out. And also Dead GPK, Preliminal, they're on my homepage. So channels I recommend are over there. And yeah. So does anybody have any questions about the technology or what is possibly going on that you just aren't aware of yet? You just, your consciousness is just not remembering because, your mind may not be able to make sense, or you remember bits and pieces. There's people that will wake up and remember just a part of a dream because that's a significant part. And then we grow from there, and then we expand to the point where when you take them off on these journeys, and like I said, it's not every time my head hits the pillow. I do not go on a journey every time I lay down to go and rest. It doesn't work like that for me. Maybe it does for others, but it doesn't for me. They happen when they happen. I got what I get when I'm on them, and I share with you guys what I glean for the expansion of the awareness of all my brothers and sisters to come into your power. Know who you are. Know who we are to each other. And it's just phenomenal. Kryptonian Prime, my goodness gracious, I have not seen you in forever. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's good to see everybody, you guys. So anybody have any questions about either of those things? So if you're like Richie the other day, is like, I can't get on a plane. Well, it sounds like we've got some much better technology that goes at speeds that are phenomenal, that runs off of free energy, some kind of it's like with magnetics, and it doesn't use jet fuel. It's not a fuel consumption type of a vessel. And it goes, and as I said when I was with them, I said, can this thing go? And, I was thinking like, I think it was Star Wars warp speed, or maybe it was Star Trek. I don't know. But I said, can you go blow my hair back speed? And then I was then led to know that, that we've crossed the United States like 5 times. I'm like, we've passed Las Vegas. And they're like, yeah, this is our 5th time over. I'm like, that's what I was looking out the window going, I mean, it just is amazing. But just think of it like this. When our conscious expands, and then when we allow ourselves and we give ourselves the permission, we'll see the unseen. The unseen will become tangible. It will become a part of our reality. There's such a huge spectrum right now in the unseen realm, the realm of plenty, the realm of abundance, because we block ourselves with limitation away from it. But we're opening those doors. And as we're able to handle it, we're opening them more and more and more. And we're able to see into the unseen realm. And there is infinite realms. We're infinite. You have no beginning of days or ending of time. It's so, we in this form, we fear death, and we think we're born and we die, and we're afraid to die. Why would we ever be afraid to die when we start to come into the awareness and travel and see into the unseen realm that there is no such thing as death? We continue to move on and evolve in different ways. And it's just, but everybody has to make their own mind up. Everybody has to choose. Everybody has to want and desire and seek. And I also want to put in that, I'm not going to say it's easy, and I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. But what I am going to say is it's worth it. You're worth it. You're absolutely worth it. So, I've been offered this Hobbs. It's not because I suffer panic disorder. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and that was something Spirit brought up. That's his handle, and that's his channel name. He brought up that there was he read a page and a half in this amazing book, and in the book it was talking about that some people may go through a hardship or go to bed uncomfortable, and also talked about some monks that never saw the light of day, barely ate. But they were in the astral realm almost all the time, because sometimes we have to have a little discomfort within in order for us to, for our spirit to let go of the physical body. It needs to be an uncomfortable situation to always be in this body. So then our spirit will go and explore into those unseen realms, that unseen realm of plenty. Because with your spiritual eye, you can see so much more. You can see what's real, what's really there. I mean, there's so much more than what our physical eyes could ever show us. So, isn't there a saying, don't believe what was it, half what you hear and none of what you see, or, and we're also told if we're Christians to walk by faith, not by sight. So, there's a lot of these sayings out there, and they come from somewhere. They're coming from our consciousness wanting the expansion as we're heading into a golden age, coming out of the silver age back into a golden age of awareness. And like I said in the last stream, we're going to move out of an age of Atlantis Lemurian time, which we think is like the utmost optimal, but that's actually a silver age. That's a fallen state. So we're going to go beyond that. We're going into a golden age, and we're moving along as beings. And this should restore hope within everybody that as humanity as a whole, we are moving along a path of expansion, whether we perceive it or our 3D self thinks it of another. It's still happening on such a scale that it's having the quantum effect to bring in technologies such as this into our realm of physical reality. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and zip this one up. I love you guys so much. As you guys saw, was the list of patrons and channel members, and they get special posts, early posts, and access to the book. I'm going to release on the 20th, the next chapter of the book I wrote. So if you have not caught up on the book and you're a patron, you might want to catch up, and channel members, you might want to catch up on the ones that are available, because another chapter is going to be released on the 20th. So look forward to that, and look forward to some top 10s coming out on opening your third eye, some practices to do. How can you tell if your third eye is open? Things that happen. I think, I already released the top 10 showing that you are awakening. So to kind of let people know that there's more going on with them, and to don't discount yourself, to know that you are everything. You're equal in all ways and able to do anything and everything that another is doing. Let's try not to lift each other up into a platitude that, they're a more advanced being or a less advanced being. Let's all stay on an equal footing, because that is actually in truth where we all are. We're all equal in this. We're in this together to some degree. And we are also in this as a unique sovereign to some degree, but always in equality, peace, love, and respect for one another and for each other's choices and right to be. So I love you guys, and have yourself a wonderful day. Peace.